Recycling Showcase. Just in case everybody doesn't know me, I'm Marty Epstein. I own Marty's Wild Recycle and this whole project here. And my whole family's here. That's my son Jesse and my mom. Hi, Mom. Is here. And my sister and brother-in-law and everybody else. Well, the reason why I'm in business is my son. I've been in business 31 years. He was less than a year old when we started, and I had to make a living. So somehow or another, I got involved in the bike business, and we've flourished in Morristown. And you know, this is kind of the next step to Morristown. I've been on the Morristown Partnership Board of Trustees for quite a while, and helped start the Sustainability Committee. And I kind of figured, with that effort, I should lead by example. So I was due for a renovation of this part of the building. We occupied that side, and there was a pack and ship store here, so we were ready to move over. And the building was ready for a renovation. We have been in and out of redevelopment, eminent domain threats, blah, blah, blah. So we're kind of out of that. So we decided time to do it, so why not do it with a green focus. So I got involved with Walt Kanzler, who was my architect, and we went through a whole bid process, hired Green Street as our construction, and everything we're doing is very sensible. I believe that sustainability and green is good economic sense, not for just myself, but for the entire town of Morristown. So that's kind of the introduction, and I'm going to pass the introduction off to Paul Miller from the Morristown Partnership, head of the Step Ahead Committee, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Marty. For many of us here, we take inspiration from Marty. He's a cultural icon in Morristown, and has set the bar very high for other business owners, and we're thrilled that he's taken a lead here and following his values and raising the bar of expectation for our business community and property owners here in Morristown. As Marty said, he's the founder and originator of a sustainability committee at the Morristown Partnership. Morristown Partnership is a special improvement district. We're in effect the managers of Morristown's downtown, funded through an assessment on commercial property owners within our geographic district. And we're grateful to a couple of our trustees who have been here today, Phil Braunschweiger, and I'm not sure if anyone else remains, so he's the only one who gets mentioned. But we're appreciative. It's a 17-member elected board. And sustainability has become a primary driving force for us. And as Marty said, it makes economic sense. It's not all about being green. And you'll see in all our collaterals, it's about shopping local, supporting that local economy. Being green is absolutely a part of it. And being connected to your community, giving back, interacting with people who are like you and who aren't like you, and making sure that everyone in the community's needs are met and they're given the opportunity to reach their own individual potential. So if you have not yet engaged with the Step Ahead program, I encourage you to do so. We've got a 10-step pledge, very simple steps. Many of you are probably already doing, changing light bulbs, going to the farmer's market, being active in your communities. And we've just applied to be one of the first communities in New Jersey certified as a sustainable community under the new Sustainable Jersey program. And projects like this help us move our community forward. So we are so appreciative of Marty's leadership, and for so many of you in the room that are doing the right things. And we look forward to the next event here, which would, I guess, be the green ribbon cutting. And you get a look behind the walls before it's done. And to give you a little more insight into those elements, Walt Kanzler, the lead architect on the project, will take it from here.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Walt Kanzler. I'm the principal of Eco Collaborative, and I'm really excited to be here tonight. I think the commitment that Marty has made to doing the store as a green building, and just overall the commitment of Morristown as a community, and really all of you that have showed up tonight to even hear what we have to say is really making a big difference. And there's a lot that I want to talk about, but I think if Marty has one of those hooks, he can pull me away to the side at any time, or also he can also say cut, because I'll probably want to say too much about, I love green building and I love what I do, and so I probably have a tendency to talk more about it than you all want to hear about. So I'm going to try to just hit the high points of things, How many people here have either live in or work in a green building? Is there anybody here that lives or works in a green building? 3 people, right? Oh, 4? Okay, so there's 4. There might be 1 or 2 others, right? And so, just to put things in perspective, there's not that many green buildings around, right? So, by making this commitment to doing a green store here, I think it makes a huge difference. 14 Maple is LEED certified. That's a green building here in town. I think Gensler's office over on Park Ave is certified. Marty's is going to be the first retail store here in town that's going to be LEED certified. And LEED is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. And I'm just going to give you a brief understanding of what that is. The U.S. Green Building Council basically administers this rating system, and it's a nationally recognized system, and it's being used all over the country to measure the greenness or shades of green of a green building. And so what we're doing here is shooting for LEED Silver. There's different levels. There's certified silver, gold, and platinum. And we started out with a project budget and scope that Marty felt comfortable with. And then during the design process, I suggested and I talked with Marty about the possibility of going for LEED certification. And I think ultimately, and you can kind of share a little bit about that too, but just tying into something where everyone else understands what it is that you're talking about really makes a difference. So having that system in place, it helps other towns, it helps other states, it helps other countries measure how green things are. So I just want to throw out some numbers to you all. And the other thing is that, you know, this is a small piece of a much larger puzzle. So the greenness of this project, if it multiplies to other projects because other people feel that they can do it too, it all adds up to make a big difference. Buildings use 40% of all the energy that we use as a nation, 72% of all the electricity, so the coal power plants, the nuclear plants all providing our electricity, 72% of that is used to power the buildings. 14% of the water and 39% of the CO2 emissions come from buildings. So Marty's property right here today, based on his utility bills from the last year, emits 21 tons of carbon a year, CO2 emissions. And with the 14 of that is for electricity and 7 is for gas in tons. And so by what we've done here, by reducing the energy efficiency, by increasing the energy efficiency of the project, we're going to reduce that by about 8 tons a year. So it's substantial. And if every store in town did 8 tons a year, and you add up 1,000 stores, that's 8,000. And then if every house in town that emits 6 tons cut theirs by 2, and there's 5,000 of those are the ways that each town can contribute to the total amount of carbon that we all emit. You know, and I'm just using those numbers to give everybody an idea of how it does make a difference. So the other thing is that the LEED process and going through and doing a green building is a little bit different than a regular process, but if you're working with folks that are familiar with it, it's really the same process. There's a few things that you do differently, and I'll mention those. And then working together with the contractor as soon as possible, early on in the project, I think is really a key component to the success of the project. I'd like to let Rob Politzer. I met Rob about 10 years ago. I was working on a passive solar home up in High Point, and I met Rob out at the diner, and you know, he came in from New York. He started Green Street about 10 years ago or so, and I think we met like 6 months after that. And now we have the opportunity, we're working together here on this project. So that's exciting to me, and I'd like to let Rob speak about